the heart of a bustling modern city, where skyscrapers stretched towards the heavens and the constant hum of technology filled the air, there existed a peculiar anomaly, a quiet, serene garden dedicated to the teachings of Confucius. This garden, a verdant oasis amidst concrete, became the setting for a tale that intertwined ancient wisdom with the frantic pace of 21st century life. Our protagonist, a young, ambitious tech entrepreneur named Li Wei, found himself at a crossroads. Despite his success, there was a palpable emptiness that clouded his achievements. In his relentless pursuit of innovation, Li Wei had neglected the very essence of his being, losing sight of the values that once defined him. It was in this garden, under the shade of a gnarled pine tree, that he encountered Mei Lin, a master of Confucian philosophy. Mei Lin, with a smile that seemed to understand the depths of Li Wei's turmoil, began to share the timeless teachings of Confucius, teachings that seemed oddly relevant to the challenges Li Wei faced. She spoke of the diversity of love, explaining how Confucianism recognized the varied forms and expressions of love, from familial bonds to the profound connection one finds in true friendship. This resonated with Li Wei, who realized his pursuit of success had led him to neglect the relationships that once brought him joy. As their conversations delved deeper, Mei Lin introduced Li Wei to the concept of moral intuition, emphasizing the importance of listening to one's inner voice to discern right from wrong. In a world dominated by data and algorithms, Li Wei found this notion both archaic and refreshingly insightful. It was a reminder that not all answers could be quantified. The principle of Li as a life-generating activity fascinated Li Wei the most. Mei Lin described Li not merely as a set of rituals, but as actions that cultivated love and goodness, transforming them into a source of life's vitality. In his fast-paced, efficiency-driven world, Li Wei saw how the essence of Li could foster a more humane approach to technology, one that prioritized the well-being of society. Moral humility, Mei Lin explained, was about recognizing one's limitations and the vastness of what one did not know. This struck a chord with Li Wei, who had often fallen into the trap of hubris, believing that technology could solve all of humanity's problems. Mei Lin's words were a gentle nudge towards modesty and self-awareness. Through the lens of Confucianism, Mei Lin illustrated the importance of conscientiousness, urging Li Wei to be diligent and careful in his moral life, especially in his role as a leader. The practical application of virtue ethics was a concept that Li Wei found particularly compelling, as it underscored the significance of living out virtues in a practical manner, something he had overlooked in his quest for success. As their discussions touched upon the educational aspects of Confucian thought, Li Wei was reminded of the transformative power of education, not just in acquiring knowledge but in shaping moral character and fostering social harmony. Mei Lin's distinction between intellectual versus practical virtues made Li Wei reflect on the balance between his intellectual pursuits and the need for actions that reflected those virtues. The dialogue between generalism and particularism in morality, and the integration of ethics and ontology, provided Li Wei with a framework to navigate the complex ethical decisions he faced daily. Mei Lin's teachings showed him that ethical considerations were not just abstract concepts but were intertwined with the very fabric of being and the cultivation of virtue. As their time together came to a close, Li Wei realized that the wisdom of Confucius, as interpreted by Mei Lin, offered not just solutions to contemporary challenges, but a way of life that brought depth, meaning, and fulfillment. He saw how the ancient teachings could guide him in making more ethical decisions, fostering deeper relationships, and building a business that prioritized the greater good. Li Wei's journey in the garden was a testament to the enduring relevance of Confucian philosophy. It was a reminder that in the midst of technological advancement and societal progress, the ancient wisdom of love, virtue, and ethical living remained the cornerstone of a life well lived. As he stepped out of the garden and back into the whirlwind of his life, Li Wei carried with him the teachings of Confucius, ready to face the challenges of the 21st century with a renewed spirit and a compassionate heart. In a world that often feels fragmented and chaotic, the ancient wisdom of Confucianism offers a beacon of light, guiding us toward personal growth and moral integrity. By weaving together tales that mirror the complexity of human emotions and moral dilemmas, we embark on a journey to unlock Confucian secrets for personal growth in today's world. Our story begins with the protagonist, a young individual at the crossroads of life, facing the quintessential moral quandaries that challenge their very essence. Through their eyes, we explore the diversity of love, as recognized in Confucian tradition, where familial affection, friendship, and romantic love intertwine, each demanding a unique moral compass to navigate. As our character stumbles, moral intuition, a prized virtue in Confucianism, acts as their inner voice, guiding them through the fog of uncertainty. It's in these moments of introspection and moral dilemma that the narrative breathes life into the concept of Li. Not just as a social ritual, but as a life-generating activity that nurtures love and good in the world. Our tale takes a turn when the protagonist, in their quest for personal growth, embodies moral humility. This Confucian virtue of modesty and self-awareness illuminates their path, teaching them the importance of understanding their own limitations and the value of every life they touch. Conscientiousness, another cornerstone of Confucian philosophy, challenges our character to be diligent and careful in their moral life. It's a call to action, reminding them that every decision, no matter how small, contributes to the tapestry of their character and the world around them. The story weaves in practical application of virtue ethics, demonstrating through real-life examples how living out virtues in a day-to-day manner enriches life. Our protagonist learns that education, as per Confucian thought, is not merely academic but essential for moral development and achieving social harmony. As our narrative unfolds, it delves into the intellectual versus practical virtues, illustrating how our protagonist's journey is not just one of mental ascension, but of putting virtues into action. This distinction highlights the importance of not only knowing what is right, but also doing what is right. The tension between generalism and particularism in morality is explored, showcasing the protagonist's struggle in making ethical decisions that consider both universal principles and the particularities of each situation. This tension is a reflection of the complexity of real-life moral dilemmas and the nuanced approach Confucianism offers. Ethics and ontology, the merging of ethical discourse with considerations of being, are masterfully integrated into the story, prompting the protagonist and the reader to reflect on the nature of their being and the cultivation of virtue. By skillfully deploying idioms and integrating real-life examples, the narrative not only enriches the reader's understanding but also connects them to the timeless wisdom of Confucian philosophy. It's a tale that respects the delicate balance between uniqueness and listener engagement, ensuring that each reader finds a piece of themselves within the story. In conclusion, unlocking Confucian secrets for personal growth in today's world is not just a story. It's a journey that invites us to look within and around, to embrace the complexity of our emotions and moral dilemmas, and to find, in the ancient wisdom of Confucianism, the keys to personal growth and moral integrity. As our protagonist learns, so do we, that in the dance of life, it's the steps taken in humility, conscientiousness, and virtue that lead to the most fulfilling path. In the bustling heart of a modern city, where the neon lights flicker like the aspirations of its inhabitants, there existed a man named Lin. An educator by profession, Lin was as much a student of life as he was a teacher, constantly seeking wisdom in the whirlwind of existence. His guiding light, however, was something that many considered ancient and perhaps irrelevant in the fast-paced digital age: the principles of Confucian philosophy. Lin's day would start before the city awoke, reflecting on the diversity of love as he prepared for his classes. He believed, as Confucius did, that love was not a monolith but a mosaic, varied and vibrant. This belief shaped his interactions, from the warm smiles he shared with strangers to the care with which he listened to his students' worries and dreams. As Lin navigated the complexities of modern society, he found himself relying on moral intuition more than ever. In a world where the moral compass often seemed malfunctioning, Lin's ability to intuit the ethical path, a skill honed by years of contemplating Confucian teachings, was like a beacon in the fog. It was this intuition that guided him when he encountered conflict, allowing him to approach situations with a calmness that often defused tensions before they escalated. The concept of Li as a life-generating activity was central to Lin's philosophy. He saw every act of kindness, every moment of learning, and every gesture of respect as a reaffirmation of the goodness in life. To him, Li was not just about following rituals mindlessly, but about infusing everyday actions with beauty and significance, turning the mundane into something divine. Humility, a virtue greatly emphasized by Confucian thought, was perhaps Lin's most noticeable trait. He carried himself with a quiet confidence, always ready to learn, always questioning his own understanding. This humility made him beloved among his peers and students alike, for it was clear that Lin viewed himself not above anyone but alongside them on the journey of life. Conscientiousness was not just a virtue to Lin, it was a way of being. Whether it was in preparing his lessons or in his interactions with others, he demonstrated a diligence and care that was almost palpable. This conscientiousness stemmed from his deep-seated belief in the importance of living out virtues in a practical manner, a cornerstone of Confucian teaching. Lin's commitment to education was unwavering. He saw it as the foundation upon which a harmonious society could be built. By instilling values of respect, empathy, and integrity in his students, he was doing his part in nurturing the moral development essential for societal harmony. The distinction between intellectual and practical virtues was something Lin lived daily. He believed that knowledge was not just to be acquired but to be lived. His life was a testament to the belief that true wisdom comes not from knowing the right answers but from living the right questions. In his quest for ethical living, Lin often grappled with the tension between generalism and particularism in morality. He understood that while ethical principles could guide one's actions, each situation was unique and required a nuanced approach. This understanding made him a compassionate and effective mediator, able to see and appreciate the moral complexity of life. Finally, Lin's integration of ethics and ontology, reflecting on the nature of being and the cultivation of virtue, was perhaps his most profound contribution to those around him. He inspired others to see that to live an ethical life was to engage in the continuous creation of oneself, to be a work of art in progress. Through Lin's story, we see the timeless relevance of Confucian principles. In a world that often feels devoid of meaning and connection, these ancient teachings offer a roadmap for cultivating a life of virtue, harmony, and profound humanity. From the ancient scrolls to the modern streets, the wisdom of Confucius lives on, guiding us toward a more ethical, compassionate, and fulfilling existence. In the bustling metropolis of our modern world, where the cacophony of the daily grind often drowns out the whispers of wisdom from the past, there lies an oasis of knowledge in the teachings of Confucius. His ancient philosophy, though centuries old, still resonates with profound relevance in today's society, especially when it comes to navigating the complex terrains of success, relationships, and happiness. At the heart of Confucianism lies the concept of Li, a term that transcends the mere act of following rituals. It is the embodiment of propriety, a life-generating activity that fosters love and respect among individuals. In a world teeming with fleeting interactions and superficial connections, the Confucian tradition invites us to revisit the essence of meaningful relationships through the lens of moral intuition and diversity of love. It is a reminder that love, in its most genuine form, is varied and encompasses a spectrum that enriches our lives in unanticipated ways. Confucius was not just a philosopher. He was a master raconteur whose stories carried the weight of moral humility and conscientiousness. These stories were not mere fables but reflections on the practical application of virtue ethics in daily life. In his view, education was not just about the acquisition of knowledge but about the cultivation of character and the development of moral fiber that binds the fabric of society. This perspective is especially relevant in today's fast-paced world, where the pursuit of success often overshadows the virtues of patience, diligence, and humility. However, integrating Confucian philosophy into modern narratives of success and happiness requires a delicate balance. It demands a departure from the relentless pursuit of material wealth and recognition, urging us to find contentment in the fulfillment of our duties and the practice of virtues. This does not imply a rejection of success but a redefinition of it. Success, from a Confucian standpoint, is measured not by the accolades we receive but by the harmony we create within our communities and the integrity we maintain within ourselves. In relationships, Confucian teachings advocate for a depth of understanding and commitment that transcends the superficial. It emphasizes the importance of li as a guiding principle that nurtures love through respectful and considerate actions. This ancient wisdom encourages us to forge connections that are not just emotionally fulfilling but also morally uplifting, reminding us that at the core of every lasting relationship is a foundation of respect and mutual growth. Happiness, according to Confucius, is the natural consequence of living a life aligned with virtue and moral rectitude. It is a state of being that emerges not from external validations but from the internal peace that comes with knowing one has lived rightly. In a world that often equates happiness with material success, Confucianism offers a refreshing perspective that locates joy in the simplicity of ethical living and the cultivation of harmonious relationships. In crafting narratives that intertwine the ancient wisdom of Confucius with the complexities of modern life, we are reminded of the timeless nature of his teachings. By weaving idioms that reflect the depth of Confucian thought and integrating real-life examples that resonate with contemporary audiences, we can create stories that not only entertain but also enlighten. Ancient echoes in modern voices, the teachings of Confucius on success, relationships, and happiness serve as a beacon of light in the tumultuous seas of our lives. They remind us that at the heart of true success lies the practice of virtue. In the essence of meaningful relationships, the presence of respect and love, and in the pursuit of happiness, the cultivation of an ethical life. In revisiting these ancient teachings, we find not outdated precepts but enduring wisdom that guides us toward a life of fulfillment and harmony. In the heart of a bustling modern city, where the skyscrapers stretch towards the heavens in a display of human ambition, there lies an ancient secret to thriving amidst the chaos. This secret, rooted in the teachings of Confucius, has the power to transform our approach to life and relationships in the contemporary world. It is a tale of how ancient wisdom can guide us through the complexities of modern living, a narrative that weaves through the fabric of daily life, touching the heart and enriching the soul. Once upon a time, in a world not unlike our own, there lived individuals who felt overwhelmed by the rapid pace of change and the impersonal nature of their digital interactions. They yearned for a deeper connection with others and a more fulfilling way of life. It was in this setting that the teachings of Confucius, a sage from the distant past, began to shine a light on a path forward. Confucius taught about the diversity of love, illustrating that love isn't a one-size-fits-all emotion, but a multifaceted experience that enriches our lives in various forms. In a world where relationships often feel transactional, understanding this diversity reminds us to appreciate the unique bond we share with each person in our lives. He emphasized the importance of moral intuition, suggesting that deep within us lies the knowledge of right and wrong. In an age where ethical dilemmas are commonplace, tuning into our moral compass guides us towards decisions that contribute to the greater good. The concept of li as a life-generating activity taught us that rituals and traditions are not mere formalities but acts that create harmony and foster love. In today's fragmented society, rediscovering these shared practices can help bridge the divides between us. Confucius's emphasis on moral humility and conscientiousness serves as a reminder that acknowledging our flaws and striving for improvement is a sign of strength. In a culture that often celebrates arrogance, these virtues encourage us to approach life with a sense of grace and responsibility. Through the practical application of virtue ethics, Confucius showed that morality isn't just a theoretical concept but a guide for daily living. This approach encourages us to embody virtues such as kindness, justice, and loyalty in every action, thereby transforming our interactions and relationships. The educational aspects of Confucian thought highlight the role of learning in moral and personal development. In a world where knowledge is at our fingertips, adopting a mindset of lifelong learning can lead to deeper understanding and fulfillment. Confucius's distinction between intellectual and practical virtues reminds us that wisdom isn't solely acquired through study, but also through the application of knowledge in real-world situations. This balance is crucial in navigating the challenges of modern life. His exploration of generalism and particularism in morality offers insight into the complexity of ethical decision-making, teaching us that while universal principles are important, the context of each situation must also be considered. Lastly, the integration of ethics and ontology in Confucian philosophy encourages us to reflect on our existence and the cultivation of virtue. This introspection can lead to a more purposeful and harmonious life. By skillfully deploying idioms and integrating real-life samples into this narrative, the story not only entertains but also educates, encouraging readers to explore how these ancient teachings can be applied in their lives. In a world that often feels disconnected, Confucius's wisdom offers a bridge to a more harmonious and fulfilling existence, proving that despite the passage of time, some truths remain eternal. In crafting this tale, we've adhered to a careful balance between uniqueness and listener engagement, ensuring that the narrative is both captivating and respectful of copyright rules. The result is a substantial yet digestible story that invites readers to reflect on their lives through the lens of Confucian wisdom, demonstrating how ancient philosophy can provide guidance in the modern world. In the bustling heart of a modern metropolis, amidst the cacophony of honking cars and the relentless march of time, there exists an oasis of tranquility and wisdom, waiting to be discovered by those willing to pause and listen. This is a tale of rediscovery, of ancient wisdom breathing life into the parched souls of the 21st century, guided by the teachings of Confucius. It is a journey that intertwines the threads of timeless virtues with the fabric of everyday lives, crafting a tapestry rich in moral and ethical guidance. Our protagonist, Alex, found themselves at a crossroads, burdened by the weight of existential quandaries and moral dilemmas that seemed insurmountable. In their search for meaning and direction, they stumbled upon the teachings of Confucius, an encounter that would illuminate their path with the soft, yet profound, glow of ancient wisdom. The diversity of love, as recognized by Confucianism, became the first beacon of enlightenment for Alex. They learned that love, in its myriad forms, is the foundation upon which ethical relationships and societal harmony are built. This realization encouraged Alex to nurture love in all its expressions, fostering deeper connections with family, friends, and even strangers. Moral intuition, another gem from the treasure trove of Confucian wisdom, taught Alex the importance of listening to their inner voice, a compass guiding them towards righteousness. They understood that morality isn't just a set of rules imposed from without, but a resonance within, harmonizing actions with the core of one's being. The concept of Li as a life-generating activity introduced Alex to the beauty of rituals and customs, not as rigid protocols, but as expressions of love and respect that breathe life into relationships and communities. This insight transformed mundane interactions into meaningful exchanges, infusing daily life with a sense of purpose and joy. Through the lens of Confucianism, Alex embraced moral humility, recognizing the strength in modesty and the value of self-awareness. This humility, far from being a sign of weakness, became a source of inner strength, allowing Alex to navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience. Conscientiousness, a virtue extolled by Confucian thought, inspired Alex to approach their responsibilities with diligence and care. Whether in their professional endeavors or personal commitments, they strive to embody the conscientiousness that Confucianism holds dear, enhancing their integrity and reliability. The practical application of virtue ethics became a guiding principle for Alex, transforming abstract moral concepts into concrete actions. They discovered the joy of living virtuously, finding fulfillment not merely in the contemplation of virtue, but in its embodiment through daily practices. Education, as emphasized by Confucianism, emerged as a cornerstone of moral development and social harmony for Alex. They engaged in a lifelong quest for knowledge, understanding that education shapes character and cultivates wisdom, laying the foundation for a harmonious society. Alex navigated the complex interplay between intellectual and practical virtues, realizing that true wisdom encompasses both the contemplation of ethical principles and their application in the real world. This balance between thought and action enriched their moral life. The tension between generalism and particularism in morality challenged Alex to consider the universal principles of ethics while attending to the specific contexts of their application. They learned that moral decisions require a delicate balancing act, considering both the broad strokes of virtue and the fine details of each situation. Finally, The fusion of ethics and ontology in Confucian philosophy offered Alex a profound understanding of their place in the world. They saw themselves as part of a larger whole, interconnected with all beings, and committed to cultivating virtue within themselves and their community. In the end, Alex's journey through the teachings of Confucius was not just an intellectual exercise, but a transformation of their entire being. They emerged from this journey as a beacon of light, embodying the virtues that have guided countless generations. Through the age-old wisdom of Confucius, Alex discovered that the path to a fulfilling and harmonious life lies not in the relentless pursuit of success, but in the cultivation of virtue, love, and moral integrity. And so, dear reader, let us take a leaf out of Alex's book, weaving the ancient wisdom of Confucius into the fabric of our modern lives. For in the teachings of this great philosopher, we find not outdated relics of a bygone era, but timeless principles that can illuminate our path, transform our lives, and lead us towards a future bright with promise and potential. In the hustle and bustle of modern life, where the cacophony of digital notifications and the relentless pursuit of success often drown out the voice of inner peace, the ancient wisdom of Confucian philosophy offers a lighthouse for the weary soul. The art of living, Confucian wisdom for the modern soul, delves into the profound depths of Confucian teachings, unraveling how its principles can foster a life of harmony, virtue, and genuine happiness in today's world. At the heart of Confucianism lies the concept of li, traditionally understood as a set of rituals and norms governing daily life. However, to pigeonhole li into the realm of mere social etiquette would be to skim the surface of its profound ontological significance. Li is the embodiment of love in action, a dynamic, life-generating process that cultivates harmony and balance within the self and in one's relationships with others. It teaches that true fulfillment springs not from individual achievement but from enriching the lives we touch. Diversity of love, as recognized in Confucian tradition, illuminates the myriad ways we connect with the world. From the filial piety to the respect we owe to strangers, it underscores the multifaceted nature of love, urging us to extend our understanding and empathy beyond the confines of our immediate circles. This ancient wisdom reminds us that in the tapestry of human experience, every thread of kindness we weave contributes to the strength and beauty of the whole. Moral intuition and humility form the bedrock of Confucian ethics. In a society often swayed by the external validation of social media likes and material success, Confucianism invites us to look inward, to cultivate a moral compass guided by intuition and a deep sense of humility. It encourages us to ask not what will bring me the most gain, but what is the right thing to do. This shift in perspective, from the ego to the ethical, paves the way for a life marked by genuine contentment and purpose. The emphasis on conscientiousness and the practical application of virtue ethics in daily life serves as a counterbalance to the abstract debates that often dominate moral philosophy. Confucianism does not indulge in lofty ideals detached from the lived reality. Instead, it advocates for the embodiment of virtues such as kindness, respect, and diligence in every action, every day. It is in the mundane tasks and in our interactions with others that our character is both tested and strengthened. Education, in the Confucian view, is not merely the acquisition of knowledge but the cultivation of virtue. It holds that true wisdom emerges from the harmonious development of the intellectual and the moral, the mind, and the heart. This holistic approach to education fosters individuals who are not only knowledgeable but also compassionate and ethically grounded, capable of contributing to social harmony. The Confucian exploration of generalism versus particularism in morality offers a nuanced approach to ethical decision-making. It acknowledges that while general principles can guide us, each situation requires a careful consideration of the specific context and relationships involved. This balance between the universal and the particular encourages a flexible, empathetic approach to morality, one that respects the complexity of human life. Confucianism's integration of ethics and ontology invites us to reflect on the nature of our being and our place in the cosmos. It suggests that to live a virtuous life, one must align with the fundamental order of the universe, recognizing our interconnectedness with all beings. This profound sense of unity with the world instills a deep respect for life in all its forms, guiding us toward actions that nurture rather than harm. The art of living, Confucian wisdom for the modern soul, weaves through its narrative the richness of Confucian philosophy, demonstrating its timeless relevance. In a world that often feels fragmented and superficial, Confucian teachings offer a path to a life of depth, harmony, and meaningful connections. Through the artful application of ancient wisdom, we discover that the art of living well is not lost to the past, but is a treasure map for the present, leading us to a future bright with promise and peace. In the bustling city of modernity, where the lights never dim and the cacophony of existence drowns out the whispers of tradition, there stood a figure, a beacon of ancient wisdom in contemporary attire. This is the story of Li, a protagonist whose life was a tapestry woven with the threads of Confucian philosophy, a narrative that exemplifies how ancient wisdom can guide us through the labyrinth of modern challenges. Li's journey wasn't marked by epic quests or battles with dragons. Instead, it was a quiet rebellion against the chaos of modern life, a testament to the power of living by the principles that have weathered the test of time. As Li navigated the complexities of relationships, career, and self-identity, the teachings of Confucianism served as a compass, guiding every step with the virtues of benevolence, justice, courtesy, wisdom, and faithfulness. The diversity of love, as recognized in Confucian tradition, was evident in Li's interactions. From the filial piety shown to aging parents, embodying the virtue of Shao, to the unconditional support extended to friends, showcasing righteousness, and Ren, benevolence. Li's life was a mosaic of love's different forms. This tapestry was further enriched by the moral intuition that often guided Li's decisions, a nod to the Confucian belief in the intrinsic ability to discern right from wrong. In Li's career as a community leader, the principle of Li as a life-generating activity shone brightly. Through initiatives that fostered social harmony and personal growth, Li demonstrated how ethical practices could breathe life into a community, transforming it into a vibrant ecosystem where every individual thrived. Humility and self-awareness, the hallmarks of moral humility, were the lenses through which Li viewed personal achievements and setbacks. This perspective fostered a culture of learning and growth, both within and beyond the community circles. Conscientiousness was not just a virtue in Li's book. It was a way of life. Whether in fulfilling professional duties or nurturing relationships, diligence and care were always at the forefront, embodying the Confucian ideal of being conscientious in one's moral life. The practical application of virtue ethics was visible in Li's day-to-day actions. From simple acts of kindness to grand gestures of generosity, every action was a step towards living out the virtues in a tangible manner, making ethics accessible and relatable. Education, according to Confucian thought, is essential for moral development and social harmony. Li's commitment to lifelong learning and mentorship programs underscored the transformative power of education, bridging the gap between intellectual and practical virtues. The narrative of Li's life also explored the tension between generalism and particularism in morality. By navigating ethical dilemmas with a balance of universal principles and context-specific considerations, Li exemplified the dynamic interplay between the two approaches, ensuring that moral decisions were both principled and pragmatic. Finally, the merger of ethics and ontology in Confucian philosophy was a theme that resonated deeply with Li. Reflecting on the nature of being and the cultivation of virtue, Li's story was a journey of self-discovery, a quest to live a life that was true to one's essence while contributing to the greater good. In the end, the Confucian compass, navigating life's journey with timeless wisdom, is more than just a narrative. It's a blueprint for living a meaningful life. Through Li's story, we are reminded that amidst the relentless pace of modernity, the ancient teachings of Confucius remain a source of light, guiding us towards harmony, balance, and fulfillment. This tale, rich in idioms and real-life examples, is a bridge between the past and the present, offering timeless wisdom for navigating life's journey. In the heart of ancient China, beneath the shadow of vast, whispering bamboo groves, lay the foundation of wisdom that has permeated centuries, Confucianism. This philosophy, with its rich tapestry of moral guidance, speaks volumes even today, offering a bridge from the past to our present, a testament to the timeless relevance of Confucian thought in our daily lives. Confucius, a pioneer of moral philosophy, introduced the world to concepts that still echo in the corridors of modern ethics. One such notion is the diversity of love. In a world increasingly connected yet paradoxically divided, the Confucian understanding of love's multifaceted nature reminds us of the importance of embracing differences with compassion and empathy. Moral intuition, another cornerstone of Confucian philosophy, suggests that morality isn't always a product of lengthy deliberation, but often a spontaneous recognition of what is right. This intuition guides us through the fog of moral dilemmas, suggesting that sometimes the heart knows what the mind is struggling to comprehend. Li, understood as a life-generating activity, encapsulates the essence of Confucian ethics. It's not merely a set of rules, but a dynamic, living practice that breathes life into our actions, transforming mundane tasks into meaningful moral gestures. This perspective encourages us to find joy and purpose in our daily routines, recognizing the inherent value of living a virtuous life. The journey of self-improvement, according to Confucius, is paved with moral humility. Recognizing our flaws is not a sign of weakness, but a courageous step towards growth. This humility, coupled with conscientiousness, demands a diligent and careful examination of our moral choices, ensuring that our actions align with our deepest values. Confucianism champions the practical application of virtue ethics, advocating for a life lived in harmony with virtues such as benevolence, justice, and wisdom. It's a call to action, urging us to embody these virtues in our interactions and decisions, crafting a life that is not only good for ourselves but also enriches the lives of those around us. Education in the Confucian tradition is not merely academic. It's a holistic pursuit of character development and moral excellence. This perspective invites us to view education as a lifelong journey, one that fosters social harmony and personal fulfillment. The distinction between intellectual and practical virtues highlights the balance necessary between thought and action. Confucianism teaches that true wisdom emerges from the harmony of knowing and doing, encouraging us to apply our intellectual insights in practical, life-affirming ways. Confucian ethics, with its exploration of generalism and particularism, offers a nuanced approach to moral decision-making. It recognizes the need for universal principles while also valuing the unique circumstances of each situation, reminding us that ethical living requires both a compass and the flexibility to navigate life's diverse challenges. Finally, by merging ethics with ontology, Confucianism invites us to reflect on the very nature of being and the cultivation of virtue. It suggests that our existence is deeply intertwined with the moral choices we make, urging us to live in a way that nurtures the goodness inherent in ourselves and in the world around us. In weaving these ancient Confucian principles through the fabric of our lives, we enrich not only our own existence, but also contribute to a more ethical, compassionate, and harmonious world. As we stand at the crossroads of past and present, let us carry forward the wisdom of Confucius, building bridges of understanding and virtue that span the ages. In a world incessantly buzzing with the latest trends, technologies, and tempests of the time, it's easy to feel adrift in the sea of modern dilemmas. With each passing day, we grapple with challenges that seem uniquely contemporary, from the intricacies of navigating digital relationships to the ethical quandaries posed by advancements in artificial intelligence. Yet, amidst this whirlwind of progress, the ancient wisdom of Confucius, a philosopher from 5th century BCE China, offers a compass to guide us through the tumultuous waters of modern life. Confucius's teachings, centered around the virtues of love, morality, humility, and conscientiousness, provide a timeless framework for understanding and addressing the complexities of contemporary existence. His philosophy, deeply rooted in the importance of interpersonal relationships and ethical living, encourages us to look beyond the surface of our modern dilemmas to the enduring human values that underpin them. Take, for example, the modern dilemma of online communication. In an age where digital conversations often replace face-to-face interactions, Confucius's emphasis on the diversity of love and the importance of moral intuition reminds us of the value of genuine connection and empathy. His concept of Li, as a life-generating activity encourages us to infuse our online interactions with kindness and sincerity, transforming them into spaces of positive engagement and mutual respect. Similarly, Confucius's teachings on moral humility and conscientiousness offer sage advice for navigating the ethical challenges of technological progress. In a world where the rapid advancement of technology often outpaces our ability to understand its implications, Confucius's emphasis on modesty and careful consideration urges us to approach innovation with a sense of responsibility and ethical awareness. Moreover, Confucius's belief in the practical application of virtue ethics in day-to-day living provides a valuable perspective on achieving work-life balance, a common modern challenge. By prioritizing the cultivation of virtues such as diligence, patience, and resilience in our professional lives, we can foster a harmonious balance between our personal and professional obligations. Confucius's teachings also highlight the importance of education for moral development and social harmony. In a world where knowledge is more accessible than ever, his emphasis on the transformative power of learning encourages us to embrace continuous education as a pathway to personal growth and societal well-being. Finally, Confucius's exploration of the tension between generalism and particularism in morality offers insightful guidance for addressing the complexities of ethical decision-making in a globalized world. His philosophy encourages us to navigate the nuances of moral dilemmas with a balanced approach that considers both universal principles and the specific contexts of our actions. In conclusion, the ancient wisdom of Confucius provides invaluable insights for living well in the modern world. By integrating his teachings on love, morality, humility, and conscientiousness into our daily lives, we can navigate the challenges of contemporary existence with grace and wisdom. As we face the modern dilemmas of our time, let us remember that the solutions may lie not in the uncharted waters ahead, but in the ancient shores behind us.